Hello. Hi. Right. Okay. I took these two raw photos recently and I think they're worth going through because I took one with the iPhone 17 Pro and the other with the Sony FX2. Can you tell which is which? Today I'm going through how I was able to take a 12 megapixel photo with the iPhone 17 Pro that looks this similar to a 33 megapixel photo from the full frame Sony FX2, how you can tell them apart, and some general tips for removing the phone look from your iPhone photography. Firstly, we have the lighting. It doesn't matter what camera you have, lighting is the great image quality equalizer. We've been through this before in my 16 Pro versus 11 Pro video. Anyway, this time the 17 Pro's camera system is a lot smaller and less capable than the FX2's, but this light gave me comparable image quality in the well-lit parts of the photo. Anyway, more on that in a minute. And you don't need to go to a studio for the kind of great lighting that helps bring the best image quality out of your iPhone. Outdoor lighting isn't as intentional or as customizable as studio lighting. You have to find it and you have to work around it rather than setting it up to your liking as you do in the studio, but you can get some cracking results with it. Next, in order to expose for the well-lit parts of the face and have everything else fall into a deep shadow, just like the FX2's photo, I shot in RAW using manual settings with the Reflex Pro camera app. Now with RAW, you don't get any of the iPhone's usual processing like HDR, noise reduction, and so many more things. This is what the result would have looked like with all of those bells and whistles turned on. And I know this because this is a real-time render of the expected result. One downside to iPhone RAW files though is noise, but this is where the lighting and the format worked together. RAW let me get the kind of exposure, the kind of colors and tones and details that I wanted, while the lighting brought out the best of the image sensor and the lens with a great signal to noise ratio and a clean photo. The RAW format also gave me a brilliant base for editing. The FX2's RAW file is 14-bit uncompressed, and the 17 Pro's is 12-bit losslessly compressed. And that is a big gap in tonal values. You've got 16,384 tonal values per channel versus 4,096. But that doesn't matter here. Slap my black and white preset on, and they both look brilliant. You only really see the difference in this situation if, for some reason, I decided to lift the shadows 5 stops like a complete maniac. iPhone RAW also has limited focal length options. On the 17 Pro, you get 13, 24, and 11 millimeters. Off. You get 13, 24, and 100 millimeters. The 24 millimeter lens is part of the iPhone's main camera that has by far the biggest sensor, the best image quality, and the best bokeh. So this is the one that I want to shoot with. But if I'd have shot this frame with the 24 millimeter lens, Mike's face and the background would have looked completely different because of perspective distortion and compression. So to achieve this 50mm look with some nice bokeh, I used the Reflex 2x telephoto lens. This physically changes the main camera's focal length from 24 to 48mm. So I get a more compressed frame with enhanced bokeh. And it has the indirect benefit of making it look like I'm shooting with a larger sensor. The 17 Pro does have a 48mm lens built in, but it is a digital crop, so it can't shoot in RAW, and the physical focal length doesn't change, so neither does the depth of field. And this moves me on nicely to some things that give these images away. Ironically, as nice as they are in the iPhone shot, compression and bokeh still give the iPhone away here because the FX2's image simply has more of both. The FX2's was shot further back at 68mm. So Mike's face is flatter compared to the 17 Pro's 48mm, and I used f2.8, so Mike's nose and forehead are blurred. And this wasn't a mistake. When I shot these, I didn't intend to compare them or to make a video. I was just at a photo club in Manchester shooting all kinds of different frames with my 17 Pro and my FX2. Just for fun, because that's what I do for fun. And when I got home, I saw how similar they looked and I thought, that's cool. I shall show the people. And this just makes me enjoy all of this more because I love how similar these look without me even trying. Yeah, I used the 2x telephoto lens, but I use that all the time. I wasn't actively trying to disguise the iPhone. I was just shooting normally, and this is what happened. If I wanted to truly disguise the iPhone, I would have shot at 48mm with the Sony, and I'd stop down to f7.1. Basically, I would have compromised the Sony, and I would have enhanced the iPhone either through editing or something like that to truly disguise it. So you might expect me to say that resolution gives it away. And yeah, the resolution difference is massive between these two. When I click 100% in Lightroom, one zooms in much further than the other. And at the equivalent zoom level, the FX2's details are finer and there's less acutance, which means local edge contrast, because edges, details, and tones transition more gradually on the FX2's higher resolution sensor. So yeah, resolution is a giveaway technically, but it's at the bottom of the list for me, especially when I take expected viewing distance into account. I'm perfectly happy with iPhone RAW being 12 megapixels. I don't see it as a limitation, and I'd be happy for it to stay 12 megapixels into the future, especially if the sensor does not get any bigger. And the only time I'm interested in resolution is when I'm shooting in Pro RAW, because the demosaicing and the processing differs between 12 megapixels and 48 megapixels. And that difference genuinely interests me. And I want to do this kind of thing again as well, where I shoot in 48 megapixel Pro RAW, because 48 megapixel Pro RAW, it genuinely is brilliant on the 17 Pro. And I think it would give the FX2 a run for its money in the right lighting. Now forget the bokeh, forget the direct comparison between the two cameras, just thinking about details. I reckon if we just focus on the details in the right lighting, the 17 Pro in 48 megapixel Pro RAW gives the FX2 a run for its money. And you may not like the reason why, because I want to go into the reason why as well, not in this video, in a future video, because I've been shooting with it, I've been shooting outdoors a lot, and I've been zooming into these files, and I've been noticing certain things, and I've been looking into how is this possible? How does this work? Because Pro RAW is so much better than on the 17 Pro than it is on the previous generations. And one of the reasons for the improvement is because AI or machine learning is involved in the demosaicing process. And I was thinking of making another video called something like areas of photography AI is actually a positive. I think that'd be a really interesting one.